Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today it's finally happening, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting the third Iowa sister in game, the Wisconsin. That, along with another Tone out of nowhere, but okay, all in this development blog that was released last night. Very late last night, too. I was surprised that, when I checked Discord this morning, that this went up at like 11 o'clock Central Time, which is weird, but okay. So we're going to go ahead and go through this dev blog. If you want to read along as I read aloud, you can check out the link in the description down below. Alright, so dev blog says, New Ships Part 2, Closed Testing 13.1. Now, this means these ships are going into closed testing in 13.1. The update coming this week is 13, so these ships will enter into testing in the February update, which is important because the normal dev cycle from announcement to release is about 4-ish months. So I think the Wisconsin's probably going to be the 4th of July ship this year, but let's get into it. So we introducing two additional ships that will go into testing in 13.1. The first one is a Japanese cruiser Chikuma II, which is a tier 9. A heavy cruiser of the Tone class, a series of ships distinguished by their unique layout and presence of their own air group on board. The warship played an active role in the Pacific War, with encounters ranging from the attack on Pearl Harbor to the Battle of Leyte Gulf, where she ultimately sank. That happened in the Taffy 3 video we did not that long ago. She bears the name of a river on Honshu Island that had previously been assigned to a light cruiser that served in the Japanese Navy from 1912 through 1931. Joining her sister ship Tone, Chikuma II will be an excellent fit for captains who enjoy stealthy Japanese heavy cruisers and hybrid gameplay. Her main battery is represented by 8 203mm guns and 4 twin turrets with slow traverse speed and limited firing angles, resulting in rather low damage per minute. In comparison to her sister ship, Chikuma II's torpedo bombers will reload more quickly, have more damage potential, and can be stored as up to 2 charges. Additionally, her ship-mounted torpedoes will have long-range, high damage, and improved launch angles due to the torpedo's ability to turn after hitting the water. So they have the gyroscopically guided torpedoes like the British battle cruisers. Excellent concealment and access to the smoke generator consumable will be valuable tools, but her small HP pool and weak AA means captains should take care when detected. Chikuma II also has access to hydroacoustic search and DFAA in the same slot. Chikuma II heavily relies on her squadrons and will be most effectively played by using her stealth to take advantageous fights. Enemy targets may be softened up by using her torpedo bombers and high damage torpedoes, then followed up with main battery salvos from the cover of smoke. In direct confrontation, Chikuma II will fare poorly against her peers, so captains will want to avoid engagements in open water against enemy cruisers and battleships. So that's something. It's a Tone that's leaning more heavily into the plane side rather than the gun side of the ship. Because a Tone, her planes are so terrible. It's really just like, go play an Otago instead. So let's check out these planes. So you get... No, sorry, that's her... That's her ASW aircraft. Where is her... Yeah, here they are, down here. Here's her torpedo bombers. So, the torpedo bombers have a hit points pool of 1950. They go 135 knots. Max speed 155 knots. You get size of attacking flight 2. Also, there's only 2 aircraft per squadron. 120-second restoration time, so 2 minutes. Hold up. The number of aircraft on deck, 4. So you get 2 planes in an attacking flight, and then 2 per squad. So you only have 2 planes. Oh, okay. Her torpedoes, each plane launches 1 torpedo with a maximum damage of 9,300. So you potentially have like 18,000 damage and change in alpha damage per run. And 50 knots, 6 kilometer range, 671 meter arming distance. That's pretty close. So, I mean... Yeah, I guess if you like Tone and want something a little bit more aircraft firepower, sure. But I don't know. Only having 2 planes in the squadron is kind of... yeah, that's... doesn't sound that great. I mean, especially when you're dealing with... Because this is a tier 9 ship. This is going to be up to tier 10 all the time, pretty much. So that's... Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical about the Chikuma II, but let's move on to what most of you are here for, and that is the Wisconsin. The 4th Iowa-class battleship, designated BB-64, Wisconsin entered service in April of 1944. Named after the 30th U.S. state, this warship participated in the Philippines campaign and the battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa during World War II. She was later involved in the Korean War and Gulf War operations. Since 2001, Wisconsin has served as a museum ship berthed in Norfolk, Virginia. Like I said, I've been there to Nautica, did a video on that too. Joining her sister ships Iowa and Missouri, Wisconsin is sure to be enjoyed by fans of traditional American battleships. You bet your sweet bibbity it is. Her good accuracy, low detectability, high speed, and access to improved repair party will make her a comfort to play. While her HP pull, armor, and main battery are relatively weak compared to her Tier 10 peers, unique combat instructions that improve her main battery and consumable reload time will give her the punch needed to compete. So it sounds like they did what I had suggested. Not saying they actually used my idea, I'm just saying, this is what I, among many others, had said to do with like the New Jersey, take an Iowa, and turbocharge it up to Tier 10 standards. Seems to be what they did here. So let's see what they have to say about that. As for consumables, you can choose between fighter or spotter, as well as have DFAA in a separate slot. That's cool. In terms of gameplay, Wisconsin will play similarly to her sister ships. Her concealment and speed may be used to take good positions, and her high accuracy will ensure that enemy mistakes are punished. However, she may struggle against well-angled targets, and she will fare poorly in direct fights against opposing battleships. So captains will need to make use of her combat instructions to compensate for relatively poor survivability. By vastly shortening the cooldown of the ship's consumables and increasing the fire rate of her main battery, the combat instructions will allow Wisconsin to secure an edge in intense engagements and allow her to survive longer to execute a tactical retreat when required. So let's take a look at her stats. So 81,100 hit points, 32 millimeters of plating, of course, 25% torpedo damage reduction, 3x3 406s, of course. Her reload time base is 30 seconds. HE and AP looks the same as Iowa. It's got the Mark 8 Super Heavy AP with the 13,500 maximum damage and a 762 meter per second velocity of the AP shell. So I'm of course assuming that the shell characteristics are the same as the Iowa and the Missouri. Same with the HE, maximum HE alpha 5700, 36% fire chance, 68 millimeters of pin. So let's see, combat instructions. Direct hits with main battery guns required to reach 100% progress is 17. So you need, 3 very good salvos in a row. Let's see. Main battery reload time gets reduced by 50% when you activate those combat instructions. So you have a reload time of 15 seconds. The consumable reload time is 80%, an 80% buff. Good lord. And it's activated for 20 seconds. So you can get one quick follow-up salvo with the combat instructions active, and then of course you can get your consumables basically back almost instantaneously with those combat instructions active. I'm sorry, I'm throwing the cat off the desk if you're wondering what that noise is. Alright, so that's pretty good. Let me just take a look. The damage control party, 20-second duration time, 80-second reload time. That's the American damage con. Repair party, 28-second active time. Yep, 535.26 HP is being restored per second. So you have an 80-second reload time. So if you pop your combat instructions, you now have a 10-second reload time on your repair party. All right, so let's see what her accuracy. They said it was cranked up. What's her Sigma? Her Sigma's 2.0, which is very nice, 244 maximum dispersion. So you go and you throw the American Plotting Room Mod 2 on there, you get that 10% or 11% buff to your dispersion, and then you have 2.0 Sigma. So that's really, really freaking nice. So, I mean, yeah, this is an interesting take. I didn't think about the combat instructions when I was even talking about this in the top 5 future premium ships of 2024 video. What was that, like last week or the week before last, where you just take a New Jersey and then supercharge it at tier 10. I didn't even think about using the combat instructions, which I guess that's just the gimmick everyone has to have nowadays, right? But yeah, I do very much like this idea for the Wisconsin, because of course the challenge is how do you just make an Iowa sister, not just another Iowa. And they did that with the Missouri by giving it radar, and they had the improved economy on it and all that. That was a little bit too much, but this is, I think, a pretty clever way of getting another Iowa sister into the game, without having to of course just make it an Iowa clone. It looks like the model, she's in her Korean War era configuration, judging by she still has AA guns on her. Of course, when you get into the 80s and 90s, that was removed and modernized with missiles and Sea-Wiz and stuff. Which, I mean, hey, you can still do that for Super Ship New Jersey, right? So, yeah. Now, I am glad to see her coming to the game, but now it begs the question: what is going to happen to New Jersey? Is New Jersey going to get the Super Ship treatment? Maybe so, but we'll see about that. Now, another question too is, what is this going to be available for? Well, she is a special ship. You can see by her icon down there. And given that she's coming out on 4th of July, or should be coming out on 4th of July, given the time frame, the usual time frame from announcement to release, I'd say probably. I'd like to say coal, but then I also like to think, well, Wargaming's, they know their ship's going to freaking sell like crazy. So maybe steel, maybe Research Bureau points. I don't know. We'll have to see, what's happening around that time. How long has it been since we had the last coal ship? When we get to closer to her release date, they do tend to let us know a few months in advance exactly what the ship is coming out for. But I would say I want to say coal, but I would also want to say Research Bureau. But they do want to sell it outright too as a tier 10. They can charge freaking $180 for a tier 10. But yeah, I'd say coal, and they're going to put her in the shop too, if I had to guess, because they drained everyone's wallets with the Kitakami account. Well, they drained everyone's port from all their quote with the Kitakami event. So I'd say coal, and then they're going to sell it in the premium shop, if I had to guess. But that is the Wisconsin. She is coming out finally. Glad to see her in the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. How excited are you for the Wisconsin, or did you want to see her in a different way? Let me know all that jazz down below. Hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, wonderful rest of your week. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 75,000 subscribers, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, again, a wonderful rest of your week. Hope we catch you guys in the next one.